Hello. I'm using the last few days of this wonderful, beautiful sunshine and great weather that we are getting in September to be outside because, yeah, why not? And we have like a slightly different setup so you can kind of see me differently. It's weird. I like it. It's better. It's a better angle, you know. Hope you guys are enjoying the Mercury retrograde. Should be good though. It's actually I don't know, it's kind of like in Libra it's all about relationships, and it's kind of all about the balancing of the scales. Like if you've put in a lot of energy into certain relationships and projects and a lot of time, I guess, which is energy, you're going to be seeing a lot of the return happen. And this could be in projects that you've been working on, and projects with people, projects with there is a bird there. Just things that really involve relationships and people, because that's what Libra rules. And Libra also rules kind of being in multiple places or multiple connections, because Libras are very good at getting to know a lot of people. They're very fortuitous in that manner. They are very adaptable. They know how to talk to people. It's a wonderful trait. Now, the depth of that is debatable. Sorry, Libras, you can be a little shallow. No offense. But that's how you are able to expand and connect with so many people. You find the connection and you go on that. Now, other signs may be a little bit more partial to deeper connections, and so in that sense, it's just finding the compatibility in that way. Now, I'm not trying to talk about Libras and relationships. I'm just talking in general. Okay. And Mercury retrograde is all about revisiting whatever house that it falls into. For you and your sign, check your rising and your moon. It's going to be revisiting a lot of those issues surrounding relationships and either balancing out what once was not so balanced of what you put in and what you haven't. So this might be actually a great time to get a raise if you've been putting in a lot of work at work, and doing a lot of effort and not seeing exactly necessarily the results that you or the return that you were hoping for. Maybe you have been putting a lot of bids out there, trying to buy a house or trying to sell your house, and now somebody's coming in and they're gonna, give you the price that you've been asking for, or maybe even more. We're in the middle of 2 eclipses. We're going to have the lunar eclipse in Aries on the 27th, which is what everybody's been talking about. People actually didn't even believe that we had an eclipse, but we did. I swear we did. I felt it. I don't know if you felt it. I was like, I dreams and couldn't sleep. It was, yeah. because it was opposing Neptune, which is all about being very in a fog and kind of dreamy. So it's kind of like I feel like that's what all those reversed cards were about. Because like being kind of stuck in a fog and hard to get started and going forward. Which, you know, Neptune can do that to you. It's like the drunken planet. Neptunian, you know, the guy with the trident. In the sea, yeah, I'm not making any sense anymore. And it's been in Pisces, which was the opposite of Virgo. And so Virgo is very straightforward. It's all about health and fine-tuning and being meticulous. And Pisces is kind of like, and so it goes. And whatever happens, happens. And it's funny because I have both of those in my chart, and they are opposing each other. It is just the worst. Trust me. It is just the worst. I've learned to deal with it, but your chart in astrology is not necessarily, like, we like to depend on that as like, okay, well, this is how I'm going to be and this is what is going to happen. Yes and no. I mean, there are aspects of that you must be aware of and you must learn to deal with and overcome. And by knowing yourself and going and going about it in a way that where you know you have a habit of doing certain things or acting in certain ways, you can take advantage of astrology by learning to fix those shortcomings and superseding those in a way that allows you to work with who you are and yourself in your chart. So, and that's really taking your power back. Self-actualization is such a great tool. It's almost like magic. It literally is like magic because, I mean, yeah, you can't control things, but you can so learn how to go with the flow in a manner that is very meticulous and smart. And if you let go of when things don't quite go exactly how you want them to, which is like that Virgo side, it's like, I need to have everything just perfect, but then the Pisces is like, but man, you just have to go with it. But then there's always like this weird, like, detached, like, I can't control my own life feeling in that sense. So if you kind of combine the two, it actually allows you to start to pursue things. So you make the actions, you go forth, and you let go of some of that, like, need to control, and you'll get better results as you go with the flow of how things go. It's like kind of rolling with the punches and learning how to punch well and right and who to punch in the face. No, you should never punch people in the face. That is a bad thing. Only in your dreams. I've never punched anybody in my dreams. No. My sarcasm is very see-through. Yes, I know. Oh, funny day. This is a favorable time for matters of the heart, a time of inspiration and healing. Relationship blossoms, your heartfelt aspirations now manifest lovingly into reality. So I'm gonna touch on this, but I kind of drifted off on between the eclipses and the Libra retrograde. So we're having another eclipse in Aries, which is the opposite of Libra. So right in the middle of Mercury retrograde, we are having a full moon endings eclipse in the opposite sign of Mercury. So something regarding relationships and a relationship with work, partner, family, house, living situation, anywhere it falls, there's going to be a conclusion, some kind of culmination point of understanding. Now, this is all very good because, everyone wants to, like, freak out and be like, oh my god, everything's ending, the world is gonna die. No. Relax. Not like that. All of what's going on right now is serving to teach and show how we can be better in our own lives, especially with Saturn coming into Sagittarius, my sign, today, being Wednesday, and this is for Thursday, so, sorry, yesterday, whatever. It's just teaching us how to be better in our own lives, and I hate to come off like a know-it-all, or, somebody who has all the answers and is just sitting on her high horse. I don't know everything, but I am very well tuned into things above, and apparently helicopters. And there's a very logical order to the world. Yes, there's emotions, and emotions can't be forgotten. I realize this, but when you're letting the emotions run the show, nothing gets done. Maybe you have good connections with people, but in the end, you cannot rely on other people to help you progress or get things done, because the relationships become terribly codependent, and not only are we becoming, stuck, but we're also pulling other people back down into our misery, because misery loves company, and we want to be fortuitous and gain and have things and go forth. It all starts with nothing. It all starts with just a little seed. You gotta plant the seed and you gotta go. I mean, my artwork comes from stuff I found on the side of the road. It was free. I mean, I can be a little bit of a tightwad because I've had, my own issues with money in the past. And learning how to be a tightwad, and learning that possessions and money will not ultimately make you solely happy, but the experiences and relationships that you have in your life will. That's where the emotions come in. You have your emotional relationships, but do not use them as these bridges or crutches to get on to a gain. I mean, you have to really take a hold of yourself and pursue your own ideas, regardless if you think they're going to be successful or not, because the thing that makes them successful is actually going forth and pursuing them. Alright, so looks like people are going to be having great favorable matters of the heart. Things are working, are coming in. People are coming in. And with some of these readings, it looks like maybe. I am forever grateful for your loving kindness and for the joy you bring in my life. You are a gift from the eternal heart of love, a blessing from the most benevolent universe. Let us be the love that we seek. Let us be the change we wish to see. Let us give freely to one another without condition, for it is in giving that we receive. Yes. Yes. You must be what you wish to see in love. If you're going to be fake, you're going to get fake love. If you are going to be a hard ass, you're probably not going to get much kind love in return. If you are, flaky, you're going to get people flaking on you. If you're genuine, you will find something genuine. It's difficult, it's scary, it's raw, it's vulnerable, but only in the vulnerability can we truly access that vibration that we truly seek. Everything we put out there is going to come back to us. So when we put out a vibration that is genuine and vulnerable and kind and giving, that is what we will receive. No matter what changes life brings, nothing will change my love for you. You give my life purpose. Because of you, I feel safe. I'm forever grateful. Thank you. Love generates love. You will receive positive confirmation of this in the next few days. Keep on loving, and you will keep on receiving ever greater blessings in return. In order to cope with the separation from a loved one, we need to realize that spiritually we're always connected to those we love. Neither distance nor time can separate that which is united by love. Let's see, where were we? Oh, 15 minutes already. Awesome. God, I talk. I just talk. Okay. So, for the main cards, we have the universe or the world card. This is the ending of a cycle. Endings. We are ending. Yes, I've definitely seen this several times. We are ending cycles, and I honestly think that we are ending a cycle of codependency because Libras can be codependent. Sorry, I don't mean to bag on Libras. My past life path is Libra. I know all about codependency, all about basically blending in and melding to another person and not pursuing your own existence, but basically becoming like this, like, other statue half of somebody that, no, it doesn't make any sense. You cannot be half of something. You have to be whole to be able to be with something else. And it's very, it's the partnership. And a lot of us have believed that we needed to find our other half. That was just the silliest fucking thing that they've ever said in this whole, existence. I don't know where it came from, but you are not half of something. You are a whole person who is looking for somebody to complement you. And we have the Three of Swords in reverse. So I definitely think that it is the end of a cycle of disappointment, end of a cycle of heartbreak or heartache or disillusionments, of disappointments, of things that have not gone right in your life, mostly by your own accord. I mean, we tend to create our own troubles. And we have the Hermit in reverse. Now, I'm going to say this is starting to realize and understand where we've played parts in our own downturns, our own downfalls, coming to certain conclusions about what we have put forth and what we're getting in return. And then with the last one, we have the Five of Pentacles in reverse. So the Hermit is like, and the reverse is coming down out of the mountain and rejoining, kind of like the society. Society of people. It's a reunion card. It's kind of the card of self-actualization. The Hermit goes up into the mountain because he seeks his own inner wisdom. And he wishes to reflect on everything that he has been experiencing and actively pursuing in his life, or her life. Let's not just leave it to the boys. And then we have the Five of Pentacles in reverse, which means we're stepping out of this experience that we've been just creating for ourselves, where we've felt in lack, and we felt like we have things that we don't have, things that we want. And we've imagined this because we always have an opportunity. We always have the ability to step into warmth and fortune and abundance, but we refuse because either we don't believe that we deserve it, or it's not exactly what we need or want, and so we reject something. I mean, the classic example is rejecting somebody that likes us because they're, oh, they're not the exact type of person that I normally date, or the job, oh, I don't want this job because it's not exactly all these qualifications that I need to have out of a job, but I need money, so now I'm poor because I, or friendship. Oh, this person's kind of obnoxious or annoying, so I'm, not going to try and get to know them because I don't want to, go any deeper than what I see on the outside, because, maybe they're soft and sensitive on the inside, and you would never know it because there's complexities to people. Or they don't dress the way I want them to dress because I have a certain standard of like image to uphold, or my friends don't like this person, so I'm not going to like this person. So many roadblocks that we throw in front of ourselves because for some reason or another we don't want to do that. We don't want to learn those lessons yet. And then they all pile up, and then we have to learn them anyways, and it just all compounds on top of us like the 10 of wands. So I think that this is a ending of that cycle. We're starting to reflect in the Mercury retrograde and understand exactly kind of what has been not right in our life. Now, with the punctuation marks, it definitely is pointing to some kind of um, emotional understanding or emotional um, thing going on, because we have the High Priestess here, we have the Knight of Wands. High Priestess is in reverse, so it's like this confused connection. Like, the High Priestess is all about your intuition and your understanding, and when it's in reverse, we can be confused about what our intuition is telling us, but also we can be confused or giving, you know, meeting experts who are not leading us in the right direction, or knowing people who are claiming to know what they're talking about, but leading us in the wrong direction. I think it's more just this this not understanding exactly and reflecting back on past experiences versus like knowing, or not knowing, but like connecting in with your intuition now, but letting what was once happened kind of be the canvas for the intuition instead of the intuition. Well, this once happened, and I see these similar patterns, and so I'm going to infer that that's the same kind of situation happening again, and it's just this. Um, and then we have the Knight of Wands upright. So again, we have action. We have somebody coming in and da 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 da. Here's some. I am moving towards some greater action. I'm creating, and so it could be a little bit skewed, because then we have the Two of Cups here upright, and we have the Five of Cups. So we have some kind of thing going on with a relationship between two people, which is, Libra's about relationships, and the Five of Cups, which is the Lord of Loss and Pleasure. And the Five of Cups is all about, you have these two cups, but yet you're still mourning the loss over the three cups that have, tipped over, spilled over. They no longer hold any emotion water for you in your life. But yet we still have these Two of Cups right next to it. We have those cups. That's a cup. We have it here. And so the focus is more on the three cups that have spilled, and not on the two cups that you actually have, you possess in your life. And I think that is what the High Priestess in reverse is referring to, is that we are intuiting this loss, and how everything is just, it's always going to be like this, and we're sad because things are not the way exactly we want them. But that's part of also going with the flow and learning to detach from a lot of things as well. One more. the sun, reversed. Focus on the blessings that you do have in your life and what is coming, and things may be leaving, but allow for new to come in. Allow the change. Allow the blessings to be in your life. The Two of Cups. Allow those, sometimes it's hard to carry 5 cups. You have to have a tray, you have to just, arrange them just perfectly. And you know what? Maybe you might spill some. But having 2 cups, you have 1 cup, 2 cup. Easy. 2 hands. Don't allow lack or 5 of Pentacles, the lack that you had, the lack of understanding past failures, to focus your attentions and dwell on, because we are moving towards a much greater abundance, a much greater life purpose for all of us, and things are starting to just become way more intellectual, way more well fine-tuned, actually, and well understood with this Saturn and Scorpio energy, which is really going to just, I honestly think, just make this world such a wonderful place, because we've relied too long on just seeking out any information. Now it's time to find the right information, the right understandings, the right things to do in our life, and not just any old path just because it's available or there or spreading its legs. So, from that, I will leave you, and I hope you have a great Thursday. All right. Wish I had a thingy to. Yeah. Bye.